Hi friends, I'm here with a yoga offering. As always, please go at your own pace, rest whenever you need to, and feel free to skip things or change things if they're not working for you today. Let's begin sitting. If you have something to sit up on, you might grab a blanket or cushion, and we'll come into a comfortable cross-legged position. And you can either close your eyes or take a soft gaze down towards the floor. Begin to slow down your breath. You can let your eyes open, keeping a soft focus, and feel free to open and close your eyes as it's useful for you. Let's begin with a gentle twist. Left hand across, right hand to the floor behind you. As you inhale, sit tall. As you exhale, rotate. Keep bringing your attention to your breath. Inhales, finding spaciousness, length, opening. Exhales, a little more releasing, letting go. Keep going in this direction, but turn your head the other way, looking over the opposite shoulder, like you're wringing out your spine. And then release and switch. Starting gently, lengthen and rotate. Seeing what's possible, breath by breath. Keep going in this direction, but turn your head the other way, looking over the opposite shoulder, wringing out. And then release, back around to the front. Let's interlace fingers in front and put some pressure between the arms, spreading the upper back, spreading between the shoulder blades. And then release and interlace fingers behind your back. Maybe the other thumb on top this time, opening up the chest. And if you like, you can fold forward here. And it might be just dropping your head, or it could be coming part way or all the way towards the floor. Just release, come up, hands to knees, round back. Lean away from your hands on your knees, drop your chin. And then roll your way back up. Let's recross the legs so the other leg is in front or on top, sitting nice and tall. Drop your right ear over to right shoulder, press down through the left shoulder, stretching left side of the neck. Rotate chin to your chest and then over to the other side. Both shoulders dropping, but now a little bit more through the right side. Rotate chin to chest. Come over to the first side and then go back and forth a few times. Half circles or 3/4 circles, watching the sensation move from one side over to the other. Next time your chin is to your chest, stay there. Interlace your fingers behind your head and let your elbows hang down, stretching the back of your neck. Release the arms, head floats back up. We'll bring hands to the floor behind us again. Fingers facing forward, shoulders roll back, elbows roll back. Lift the heart. Take your chest as high as you can, like a balloon. We're filling up in the chest and floating up towards the ceiling. And then release, come up, hands to knees, round back. And then roll your way up. Let's come on to hands and knees, tabletop. If you want to pad your knees, you might grab a blanket or cushion if you have one. Place the hands right under the shoulders, fingers spread. We'll take a few rolls through the spine, starting by lifting the head and tail, arching. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, curve. Inhale, arch. Now from here, shift your weight forward, bend your elbows straight back and dip part way or all the way to the floor. Press up from there. Round. Arch. Go forward to dip down. If going all the way down is too much, maybe just a couple of inches and then press up from there. Round. Arch. Go forward to dip down. Press up. Round. Arch. One more time. Dip down. Press up. Round. And then sink back to child's pose. Release hips to the heels. Forehead to the floor. Find a relaxed position for your neck and shoulders. And just a reminder that you can rest anytime, whether you rest in this shape or a different one. And when you rest, come back to slow, deep breaths. Let's come back up to table. From here, step your right foot out to the right, and we're going to lean the hips over. And you can go a little or a lot, just exploring your mobility, feeling what it's like here. Come over to the other side. Step the left foot out to the left. Lean the hips over. And sometimes we don't even know something's tight until we start moving it. So it's really good to explore our full range of motion so we get all that information. How's it going in this body right now? Let's come back to center. Same thing other side. Right foot steps out to the right, toes turned out. This time, walk your hands around. Bring your forearm to your thigh. We'll come into something like extended side angle. A lot like the standing pose, just on the knee instead. Belly lifting, tail dropping. And then let's take a few big circles with that top arm. Reach as far back as you can. Let this next circle lift you up to something like warrior two. So now arms straight, spine straight, tail dropping, belly lifting, nice and open through the right leg. Push into the right foot to come up, and we'll tip over into side plank, Vashisthasana, pulling up through the top hand. So there's a lightness in that bottom hand. Now feel free to stay here. I'll offer two more options. If they don't work for you, come back and stay here and just do this. So if you like, you can float the right leg up, a little like half moon on the knee. Long lines, hand to hand, head to foot. Last option here, bend the top leg, reach back for it, and then kick your foot into your hand. A little bit of a back bend, balance, chest opener, breathing here. Let's reverse what we've done to come out of it. So gently release through half moon. Foot to the floor like side plank. Rise up, Warrior two. Elbow to thigh. Extended side angle. And then release, hands to the floor. Walk your way back to neutral, back to table, and over to the other side. Left foot steps out, walk the hands around. Elbow to thigh. Top arm extends, finding a long diagonal. And then start to circle that top arm back behind you as far back as you can. So there's probably some amount of movement we each use in our day-to-day activity, and then there's the full range, things we may not get to in our regular lives. So here's where hopefully we get to the full range and can discover what's tight, what's weak, what's imbalanced. Let your next big circle lift you up. Doing your best with the information you're getting, listening to your body, with what you know about your body, about yoga, to just do the best you can, taking care of yourself. We can't do more than that. Let's push into the left foot, come up and tip over. And if we keep practicing, there will surely be growth in understanding, capacity to be with more, maybe increase in flexibility, strength, all that. Remember, you can stay here or float the leg like half moon. Looking down will probably be easiest for balance. If you're on challenge, you could look up. Last option here, bend the top leg, reach back for your foot, kick your foot into your hand. If something's not working for you, don't do it. These are all tools. Tools meant to be useful. If they're not useful, they're not useful. Gently release, half moon, foot to the floor, side plank. Rise up, warrior two, elbow to thigh, extended side angle, and then curve your way back to neutral, back to table, and let's sink back to child's pose, releasing hips to the heels. With arms out in front of you, walk your hands over to the left, and then pull back through the right hip, stretching right side a little more. Let's come through center and over to the other side. Pull back through your left hip, stretching left side a bit more. And then back to center. Let's lift up through table and come back to a downward facing dog. So as you move towards your full expression of down dog, you will be met with your limits. And this isn't a bad thing. It's really what we came here to find. So as you discover those places that are tight, weak, imbalanced, celebrate. With that information, you are going to be more fully equipped to take good care of yourself. If you don't know what's going on in your own body, how could you? Let's walk hands and feet towards one another, and then hang in ragdoll. Feet hip width apart, parallel. You can bend your knees a little or a lot. You can use any arm position, including a little support through your arms. You might rest elbows on thighs. Can you let the weight of your head really hang?
Bend knees a little bit more. Slowly roll up, coming all the way up to standing.
We'll step up to the front of the mat. Hands together, feet can be together or apart. Come into your mountain pose, Tadasana. And we'll take a full A-series sun salutation. Next inhale, arms sweep high. Exhale, fold forward, swan dive down.
Inhale, lengthen, part way up.
Step or hop your feet back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. So finding the shape that suits your needs, working with your body. Back to down dog when you're ready. And then let's take 5 breaths,
Either in down dog, or you might come back to child's pose or sitting or any other neutral shape. So this practice is one of balancing doing and being, action and surrender. And I find, since there's an overemphasis in my life, probably for you as well, on doing, achieving, moving, getting somewhere, that peppering in moments of just surrender is so useful. So these 5 breaths, see if you can just allow what's here to be here. If you're choosing an active pose that requires effort, let the effort be there, but can you relax within the experience? If you can't, choose a different pose. Last breath here. Come back through down dog and step or hop your feet forward. Inhaling, flat back. Exhale, fold, let your head release. Inhale, up to standing. Exhale, arms press down. Again, inhale, arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop your feet back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. And back to down dog. It's time from down dog. Let's take the right leg up to the ceiling. Bend your knee to your chest and start circling this bent right knee, making the biggest circle possible for your hip joint. Next time your leg is up, reach it straight, send it a little higher, and then a big step forward, high lunge. And we'll hold here with hands on the floor. If you have blocks and want to use them, you can grab that. Make sure your right knee is right above your ankle. If it's not, take your feet further apart from one another. As you inhale, lengthen that back leg a little straighter. Keep that as you exhale, sink hips a little lower. Just a slight pulsing. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sink. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sink. One more breath like this. Lengthen. And sink. Now let's straighten the front leg. Part way or all the way as you inhale. Exhale, slow, deep bend. So you're just yawning open as you inhale, going to your hamstring stretch. Exhale, bend. See if you can take your full breath to arrive. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. One more, lengthen. And bend. Inhale, step back.
making your way to down dog. You could come through a vinyasa, high to low push-up, up dog or cobra to down dog, but you could also just step back or move in some other way. From down dog, when you're ready, left leg sweeps up. Bend your knee in and start circling. Next time your leg is up, reach it straight, and then a big step forward. If your foot doesn't make it far enough forward, you can pick it up and bring it there, or shimmy the back foot back. Maybe grab blocks. Inhale, lengthen just the back leg. Exhale, hips sink a little lower. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sink. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sink. One more, lengthen. And sink. Now straighten the front leg, part way or all the way as you inhale. Exhale, slow, deep bend. Inhale, yawning open. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend. Last one like this. Lengthen. And bend. Find your way back to a good resting pose. You might take a vinyasa, you might just step back. And then you can rest in down dog, child's pose, sitting, forearms, knees, something else. More important than the shape, coming back to a quality of presence and surrender. A couple moments where there's nothing to change, nothing to do, nowhere to get. Simply being. Last breath here. Let's make our way through down dog. Step or hop your feet forward, inhaling, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up to standing. Exhale, arms press down. Let's take a few balancing poses. So we'll start by getting steady on 2 feet. You can separate your feet, maybe shift your weight side to side, a little bend in the knees, feel the soles of the feet into the floor. And then move over to one leg for tree, vrikshasana. So you can bring your right leg up as high as you're able, as low as you need, anywhere above or below your knee. You can even have your toes just barely touching the floor. Feel free to make this an appropriate challenge for you. Arms can stay out for steadying, or hands together, or arms up. Can you stand even taller? Let's release, shake that out. Get steady on 2 feet, and then move over to the other side. Left leg up as high as you can, as low as you need. Arms can be out, together, or up. release. Shake that out. Let's take another bounce. We'll do eagle pose, Garudasana. So if the full expression of this is too much, just do part of it. So you could do either the legs or the arms, or modify however you need to. So we're going to bring the right leg on top of the left, knee on top of knee, and then if you can, hook your ankle around your calf, do so. If it doesn't reach, just hug it in close. Nice deep bend in the supporting leg. If you need to keep the arms out to steady you, feel free to do that. Otherwise, the opposite arm is going to be on top. So here, left elbow on top of right. If you can, palms come together as well. Put a little pressure between the elbows like you're trying to pull them apart. Can you engage abdominals and relax your face? At the very least, can you breathe slow and deep wherever you are right now? Let's release, unwind. Same thing, other side. Left leg on top, right arm on top, or take whatever modification, variation you need to. How much can you feel? How much can you take in? Release. Great. Let's bring feet hip width apart, hands to the top of the buttocks. Roll your shoulders back, roll your elbows back, lift the chest. Now there's a way you could do this where you're kind of collapsing into the hands. Try not to do that. Think light, lifted. Imagine a helium balloon in the chest floating up. You might even start to feel a little light in your heels. And then release, fold forward. You can bend your knees a little or a lot. If you're able, grab your big toes with the first two finger and thumb. Lengthen and fold.
Pull your head towards the floor, tractioning out. Imagine putting little spaces between each of your vertebrae. And then release. Let's lower the hips.
Come into a squat, malasana. If your heels don't easily come to the floor, you might widen your stance or turn your toes out. If your heels still don't come to the floor, it's fine to balance on the toes as long as that feels okay for you. If it's not feeling great, you might instead sit back on a block or slide a little something under the heels like a blanket. We're going to open up the knees using the elbows. As best you can, roll your shoulders back and down so the chest is open, whole torso is long. And we'll work our root lock here, Mula Bandha, same as a Kegel exercise. As you exhale, draw the pelvic floor muscles in and up. As you inhale, release that. Exhale, engage. Inhale, release. Exhale, engage. Inhale, release. And then engage and keep holding, keep breathing, drawing in strongly through the bottom. Connecting that up to the top, feeling the full length and space that your spine, your torso takes up. And then release. Let's take a seat back. We're going to extend the legs forward. Getting set up for a seated forward fold. And if you want to put a little lift under the hips, that could help the pelvis be more upright. Feel free to slide a blanket or block under there. As you fold forward, use your hands to support you. If you're able to reach your feet, you might pull against the feet to keep the torso long. If you can't reach your feet, you could put a strap or a scarf or something around the feet, or keep hands on the floor. Each time you inhale, go towards length. Each time you exhale, go towards folding, and then you meet your edge. That's where there is to breathe, to be, to pay
Pay close attention, so at any moment, if it's too much, you back out a little. If it lets off, go deeper. And it is a real trick to stay committed to your intention while being unattached to the results. I haven't figured it out yet, but I keep reminding myself it's a good idea. Go wholeheartedly, 100% going towards all the things I care about, everything I want, and allowing it to be just like this. It's going to be just like this whether I allow it or not. And it's really the difference between suffering and freedom. But man, it's hard to separate those two things. But that's really the practice. Inhale to look up. Exhale, release. Let's bend the knees, soles of the feet together, Baddha Konasana. You can grab your big toes, lengthen and fold. And I think unintentionally, society, teachers, parents kind of teach us that if we really want something, we just go for it. And if we try hard enough, we can get it. I know I was sort of under that impression for a little while. Maybe still am sometimes. But sometimes the results are completely out of our control. Most of the time they're out of our control. So really all we can control is our intention. And then if we put all our eggs in the basket of getting what we want, then happiness is pretty elusive. So I want to try and find another path to freedom, which is allowing what's here to be here. And we can grow in our capacity to do that in all kinds of situations. Even the most challenging moments in life, there can be the possibility of surrender. And it doesn't mean we don't take action. Action is often needed. But is it possible to feel what's right here, right now, all of it? Allow it, let it be. What is that like? Let's bring the upper body back up. Bring the knees in. Let's roll back onto our backs. Take a little circle or rock with your knees, massaging the lower back and sacrum into the floor. I'm going to suggest a supported bridge, which requires some prop. If you have yoga blocks, that's great. If you don't, there may be something else around your house that could work. Books covered with a towel, a foam roller, a firm cushion, or blanket stacked up. If you don't have any of those things, you can choose another pose that would feel good for you right now. So if you have something, place it under your sacrum, which is a little lower than the lower back. And you may play around with the height or firmness of what you use. Finding a position that you can let go. This is a great restorative pose. You might just stay right here, releasing. I'm going to also offer a hip flexor stretch. So if you would like to join me, bring your right knee to your chest, grab hold of it. And it could be with one hand, both hands, behind the leg, up around the top of the leg, however it works for you. Bring it in as close as you can. And then straighten the left leg and let that straight left leg hang towards the floor. So we're looking to open up the front of the left hip. The more you hug your right knee in, the more you let that left leg hang, the more of an opening there can be at the front of the left hip. let's release and switch. Left knee in, grab hold of it, hug it in close, straighten the right leg and let that straight right leg hang. When you feel even on the two sides, come to some neutral position. That could be knees to chest, feet back to the floor, or legs extended, either up in the air or along the floor. And if you need to adjust the placement or height of your props under you, feel free to do that at any time. In whatever position you've chosen, how much can you let go? When you're ready, you can move your props out of your way. Check in with your body. How would you like to wrap this practice up? I'm going to suggest a spinal twist, but if there's something else you would prefer, you're welcome. If you want to join me, bring one knee across, take a couple breaths. And then we'll go to the other side. If there's anything else you're needing, take your time wrapping up your practice. Take your time getting comfortable if you want to adjust your clothing or grab any props or give a little self-massage anywhere. Eventually settling into stillness. Letting go, releasing back into the support underneath you.
slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, gently waking your body up again. Let this movement increase gradually through your wrists and ankles, eventually stretching out through your arms and legs in a nice full body yawn. When you're ready, bring your knees in. Roll to one side. Use your hands to help you up to sitting. And come to a comfortable cross-legged position. Bring hands together at your heart. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks for sharing what I'm doing with others who may be interested, subscribing to my YouTube channel, joining me on Patreon, liking my Facebook page. These are all things that make me feel like you like me, which is great for me. And yeah, have a great day.